Right, this is Usman Ali Akhtar and Muhammad Ali. Unit 15, Task 1. Right lads, start off in P1, describe principles of fitness training. Off we go. First one.
Static strength. We've gone with the rugby screw.
Right, so strength, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, broken down up into...
This is used when you try to move an immovable object or carry a heavy object. There is no movement of the object. The muscles do not change length. Isometric contraction.
Right.
So basically like a prop, like rugby players, Adrian Morley, who goes into a scrum as a prop, like goes into a tackle very strong. So we probably use that kind of contraction.
Right, okay.
Strength is explosive strength. Used when exerting a force in a short, fast burst. This is similar to power. For example, throwing a ball or long jump. A gym example of this is 1 rep max of a deadlift.
Dynamic strength. For example, when performing reps when weight training, repeatedly applying force over a long period. Similar to a muscular endurance.
Aerobic endurance means training with oxygen. Your heart and lung supply enough oxygen to the muscles to maintain the level of exercise. The equation explains the process of respiration.
Glucose and oxygen equals carbon dioxide and water and energy.
Right.
So that's the equation for that. So example would be like Mohammed Farah.
Who, sir?
Mohammed Farah, like
Mo Farah, yeah?
Yeah, because he has to run over a long period of time with oxygen.
So he requires a lot.
That's endurance.
Cardiovascular, your heart and lungs can keep your muscles supplied with oxygen throughout the exercise. The harder your muscles work, the more oxygen they need, so the heart and breathing rate rises. The better your CV system is, the slower your heart rate is because you pump more blood with each beat. You can improve your cardiovascular endurance through aerobic training. The graph, we try the graph. For example, we use Chris Froome using his cardiovascular endurance in Tour de France, working on his agility and stamina.
Good.
Body composition in sport. Excess fat hinders performance as it does not contribute to muscle force production, and there is additional weight that requires energy to move about. The body composition is often represented as two compartment system: lean body weight and fat weight. The fat weight is expressed as a percentage of total body weight, whereas percentage body fat. For some athletes, it is one of the most important aspects of fitness and for success in sport. Body composition, such as amount of body fat and muscle mass, can also significantly affect sport performance. Body size and composition can be considered important in sports where you have an advantage of being tall. That would be for basketball. An example of that is
LeBron James,
yeah. Good.
Small jockeys such as Tony McCoy, heavy sumo wrestling, or light gymnastics. In many other sports, including team, field sports, correct body composition and size is also very important as part of the overall fitness. Speed in it? Yeah, speed is one of the main fitness components important for success in many sports. For some athletes such as track sprinters such as Usain Bolt and Tyson Gay, and field sprinters, sprint swimmers such as Michael Phelps, cyclists such as Mark Cavendish, Sir Chris Hoy, and speed skaters, speed is the most important aspect of fitness. In many other sports, including team field sports, good speed is also very important as well as part of the overall fitness profile.
Right.
Agility is also influenced by body balance, coordination, and the position of the center of gravity, as well as running and skill. Agility is one of the main fitness components important for success in many sports, such as in team sports of football and hockey, and individual sports of tennis and squash. Of the top sports requiring agility has the sports of football, basketball, and tennis ranked highest. The reason for these are that these sports require it a lot because it is vertical, that the athlete has vital that the athlete has balance and coordination and quick movement from one position to another. You can do this by testing using the Illinois agility test.
Balance and coordination. There are two types of balance, static and dynamic. Static balance is maintaining equilibrium with the when stationary, while dynamic balance is maintaining equilibrium when moving. When we use our eyes, ears and body sense to help retain our balance, coordination is a complex skill that requires not only good balance but good levels of other fitness components such as strength and agility. Balance and coordination can be improved through practice and training within specific sports such as football, rugby, basketball. In certain sports such as gymnastics and surfing, balance is one of the most important physical attributes. Good coordination is also vital for sports involving hitting objects. In many other sports, including team sports, good balance and coordination is an important part of skill development and other overall fitness profile.
Right, go on, keep going.
Muscle power is one of the main fitness components important for success in many sports. Certain sports such as weightlifting, boxing and weight throwing is one of the most important physical attributes. In many other sports including football, good power is also very important as part of the overall fitness profile. Flexibility is the range of movement across a joint. Many activities require good flexibility, and having a good flexibility prevents injury by reducing the chance of straining or pulling a muscle. There are two types of flexibility. The static flexibility involves holding a part of the body still at its full range of movement, for example, holding a balance in gymnastics. The second one is dynamic flexibility, use the full range of movement across the joint where a fast action is used but not held. For example, arching your back during a high jump when you're going over the bar.
Muscular endurance. Muscular endurance is the ability of a single muscle or muscles to perform sustained work over a prolonged period of time. An exercise to test your muscular endurance is rowing, as you are repeating the same movement from a long period. An elite athlete who would require good muscular endurance is Amir Khan, as he's constantly punching for 12 rounds with his arms getting tired. And obviously require a lot of stamina.
Yeah.
Muscular endurance like low weight, high reps, many sets, and power, medium weights and reps perform quickly. Action time.
The action time, the time between the presentation of the stimulus and the onset of a movement. This helps swimmers to make a fast start. So this is when the song goes and they have to have a quick reaction.
Yep.
Good time.
Combinations.
No, this is power.
Right, so you've done P1, good. Right, let's move on to P2 and M1. Describe and explain the health and safety considerations. First one.
The first one's a risk assessment. Should be done in the gym to see if it is up to health and safety standards. This is because to prevent injury occurring from faulty equipment and to check if the equipment is safe. Park queues are also important because to check the client's personal information and medical history, which is really important, so the gym instructor is aware of the clients and be prepared for an emergency arises. Before the session starts, the fitness instructor, we need to check if all the equipment is up to health and safety standards. They will do this by checking the equipment if it's broken or out of place or faulty or risk to health. The safety considerations that we will need to take in case will be make sure all equipment is usable, is safe, and making sure that there is enough space and room for a safe exercise session. We also need a contingency plan because if we have decided to do a football session outside and it is snowing and it will interrupt the entire session plan, so therefore we need an alternative session plan to do indoors and try something different. Slippery floor is also another health and safety consideration because this is a vital before the session starts, so no participant gets hurt or injured before or during the session. So considerations to take for this will be clean and dry the floor before the session starts. Another safety consideration is fire drills. This is because the gym instructor or whoever is taking on the session will need to make sure fire exits are in good working order, fire extinguishers in the correct place. 4. wet floor sign,
on this one.
the wet floor sign and the health cream.
Wet floor signs. It is important to have wet floor signs because this is to prevent participants not getting injured in the gym just in case of a spillage on the floor or slippery surface. To prevent this from happening, the person in charge of the gym will need to take action when we have a wet floor. So they will have to put a wet floor sign on the floor.
Clearly displayed so all participants around and in the gym will be aware of the hazard.
Another
So
one.
when it's displayed clearly, so everyone will come in and just check, yeah, there's hazard there.
Last one.
So it'll avoid injury or something.
Emergency exit. This is the emergency exits should be shown to the participant at the start of the session and should be able to see it clearly. So in case of an emergency, the participant will be clearly know where the exits are. So when there is an emergency, when they're panicking, they'll able to know where to go and what procedures to take. And an example of this would be in a fire and
Like evacuating the building or something, like,
Yeah.
having the correct, the what is that?
Procedures.
The evacuation procedure
Yeah.
and stuff, yeah, where the evacuation will be in a car park or something, or
where the meeting point is. For them.
Right, is that all of them then? Right, which of those do you think's the most important then to make sure you're in your gym out of them?
Where's the unit?
in the gym.
No.
I think risk assessments.
Right, why is that then?
I think it's because, like, obviously, like, if there's something occurs in the gym or something, like, and you don't know the participant properly, anything, like, if they've got all the details down and the gym instructor knows that they've got the details, if they've got, like, medical history or something that they know they've got.
Yes, that's the
problem.
PARQ, isn't it?
Yeah,
Park.
PARQ links
yeah.
to, like, risk assessment, so it's, like, really good to do risk assessment just in case of emergency, basically.
Right.
I think risk assessment, that's because even if the equipment is faulty, whilst doing it, they could injure themselves and then the gym could get sued. And well, if it's not up to health and safety standard, it can't be used.
Yeah, like, that equipment faulty comes into as well, like, everything comes into risk assessment if you think about it, like, if you got faulty equipment and stuff, it's also part of a risk assessment because obviously, like, whoever's in charge needs to, like, make sure all the equipment is up to, like, health and safety standards, so that's all part of the risk assessment procedure, so I think that's, like, one of the most important ones.
Right.